everyone, how are you doing today? I am having a lot of fun creating this video content and I'm learning so much along the way. I'm also hopeful that these videos are helpful to you. I speak from experiences and these are the topics that I'm passionate about and that makes me study them and understand them, and that's why I bring this all to you. If you have any thoughts, comments, additions that you'd like to make, please feel free to reach me. Today we'll be talking about overthinking, something that I'm very familiar with. It's basically procrastination, but focused more, when you're stuck in the overthinking phase. So today we'll be talking about all of that, and I'll share my experiences and some tips that might be helpful to you. So let's get started. From atomic habits to the power of habit, there is so much literature on why you should take small, consistent steps forward. But what do you do when you're stuck in that overthinking phase and you're not able to get to that action phase itself? I think that is the biggest problem here. When you want to go from being an overthinker to a doer, you would want to take care of these three things: self-talk, what-if trap, and action despite emotion. We'll get into all three of them, but let's start with self-talk. The internal dialogues that we have with ourselves throughout the day holds a lot of power on us. Self-talk is usually categorized as positive and negative by the internet gurus, but it's not just that, right? This classification is a little rundown and often incorrect. So today we'll talk about self-talk in terms of being constructive or destructive in nature. But whatever it is, it surely has a lot of grip on our actions, our thoughts, emotions, and what we think about ourselves generally, and our sense of belief. If your self-talk is simply filled with self-doubt, like, oh, what if you do it and you fail? Then people are going to think that you're selfish and you're dumb or you're stupid or you're crooked or whatnot. All of this is not helpful. It's not constructive, and it stops you from taking action towards your goal. So what do? You drown it. Susan Jeffers in Feel the Fear book calls it chatterbox. All this destructive, this voice that stops you from taking action, that is not helpful at all, is a chatterbox, and I quite like that name. So when your self-talk isn't helpful, reframe those thoughts in a more constructive way with a lot more self-power affirmation. So instead of saying, I failed the last time, how will I succeed? You can say something like this to yourself, that, okay, I'm prepping well for it this time, or I have learned from my mistakes, or I'm so proud of myself for taking chances, etc., etc. The moment you start thinking it this way, your mind will automatically give you more reasons to believe in yourself. It's a little thing called confirmation bias. When you believe in a perspective, you will start finding evidence to support that perspective everywhere. This is such a cool concept that works for you in this kind of a situation. Overall, being aware of the self-talk that you have with yourself and understanding whether it's constructive or destructive for you at the moment will help you make that shift from overthinking to taking action. And having a constructive inner dialogue will help you become more confident and believe in yourself a little more. Action point number 2, the what if trap. The what if trap is when you imagine the worst case scenarios that are going to happen if you take that step. Now, it's terrible because it causes fear and anxiety, and you're just sitting there all worried, not even close to taking that action. Now, it often feels like you're being all rational and responsible by considering all of these possibilities and you're just preparing. But when you focus only on the negative possibilities, outcomes of a situation, you can get paralyzed with fear and indecision, and we don't want that. The first thing here that you can do is to recognize whether you're engaging in this type of a thinking pattern. You would find yourself using words like what if. What if I do this and then something terrible happens? So you will find yourself thinking about all of these things. Of course, it's probable that things go wrong, but this kind of a thinking pattern is not rational because you find yourself thinking only of the negative possibilities. you do not find yourself thinking about the positive possibilities, that is exactly why what if thinking is a trap. So once you've recognized this what if thinking trap, you can think of the positive outcomes that taking this action could bring. You can also challenge the negative what if scenarios. So if you're worrying about failing, you've got to have this talk with yourself that even if I don't succeed in this, even if I fail, I'm still going to try. I'm not going to keep sitting here not taking any action at all and not taking any chances. This is where you're preparing yourself to take action. Remember, this kind of paralysis of action is not rational, and your goal here is to overcome this kind of irrationality and take actions despite this fear and uncertainty that you're feeling. By taking these small little steps forward, you'll be building momentum for something bigger in the future. This nicely segues into our next action point: action despite emotion. Often when you're overthinking, you're waiting for that right emotional state that will nudge you, help you to take that action. You may think like, oh, I'm not feeling motivated at all at the moment, I can't do this. You may feel like you need to feel motivated or confident or even excited before taking that action. But that's not true. And also, this approach could be a little problematic because emotions are unpredictable and could change from moment to moment. Waiting for the right emotional state to take action could create this infinite procrastination, and it will stop you from taking any action at all. So, what do? Let's first start by recognizing that emotions are not necessarily a reliable guide towards taking actions. So instead of waiting for the right moment, right emotional state, to come in before we take any action, let's start with little steps forward towards your goal, irrespective of how you feel at the moment. That's why I love Atomic Habits, because it was an eye-opening moment for me. I thought that you couldn't do anything without a spur of the moment motivation. Your habits, those little actions that you take, are everything. So you can make a routine or a habit that will help you support your goals. It will create this momentum, towards your goals, and also a sense of structure, which is very, very important, and it's very helpful because you will end up taking actions, doing those little tasks from morning to evening without even considering whether you wanna do them or not, whether you're in the right emotional state or not. So there you have it. To go from overthinking to taking action, you need to take care of self-talk, be aware of the what if trap, and take action despite emotion. Remember, it's a journey and it needs patience and persistence. There will be setbacks along the way, but if you keep going, you will reach there eventually. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, hit the like button and share it with your friends. You can also subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.